Well, hey, everybody, look, it's Charlie and Jeff, Contractors Corner.
Hey.
We're here. It's Tuesday. I forgot the date. It's May 24th, 2022. There's people here. Hi, peoples. Oh, look, I don't know why that does that. We start and there's like 8, 10, 12 people, and then it cuts in half, and then they start trickling back in. It's a weird thing.
People probably click it through YouTube, and they click on us and like, oh, those two jackasses next.
Right. Oh my God. I think you might be onto something. Let's see who we got here. We got Narvik. I like that name. I don't know why, but I dig that name. Narvik, what's up, buddy? From El Paso, Texas. Alan Becker's in Raleigh, North Carolina. Trucker Dan. What's up, man? Look. I got to mess with her. There she is. She's drinking soda, and we got to bring her in when she's doing stuff that she ain't ready to be seen. One day I'm going to catch her picking her nose. Watch. It's going to happen. And I'm going to be like, bam, have one of those.
Now my nose
oh my God. You're welcome. I heard you start to say a word. I'm just saying. Josh McLean. Hey, y'all. What's up? Oh, I heard somebody's noise. That was cool. And no, I already turned your sound down. It's fine.
Okay.
That was my notification on my phone that Swift Contractors Corner is live right now.
That makes perfect sense. So today, folks, we have a guest. I got to get myself comfortable here. Oh my gosh, we've got Jeff Reese standing by. We're going to bring him in just a minute. Talk about this fuel card stuff. For those of you who are not aware of the fuel card, we haven't done a real focus segment on it for a while. So we thought we'd do that. Get Jeff in here to talk about their stuff and our stuff and how it all works together and goes together and becomes like that. You like that? You like that demonstration? That was some fancy demonstrating right there. I don't even know what to do.
You should teach college.
I'm gonna teach me some education stuff. But you know what? Let's do this fuel surcharge report. I'm done with you two. You two go away. I don't even know what to do. I'm gonna click on a button over here, and we're gonna do this thing. We're gonna go like that. So the national average went down. Sad face. Went down 0.042 cents to 5.571 this week. West Coast Pad 5 cost average went up 0.006 to $6.08. That brings our fuel surcharge this week to 0.734, which is only down 0.007 cents. The West Coast went up to 0.08. So if you're on the West Coast, you averaged out good there. If you're me and you're out here, you lost 0.007 cents. It's not that bad.
You have to be actually like getting loads though to.
Oh my God! Stop. This week is something else. This week, oh my God! You know what? Let me get rid of this. We got to get out of here. I'm tired. So this is what we're gonna do. I'm gonna bring in the man, Jeff Reese. Jeff Reese, everybody. This is Jeff Reese. For those of you who don't know him, he is the Director of Sales and Marketing for the Expeditors Services ESA Advantage card stuff.
The stuff.
Balloon thing. Look, I even got a little thing right there. Look, Director of Sales and Marketing, Jeff Reese, ESA Advantage. Hey, still got it. Look,
fancy.
I lost that thing. I didn't put it anywhere smart to find after the last time you were on, Jeff. And so today it took me like an hour to find it. I still don't know where it was. And so, it's going to be like a whole thing. Anyhow, whatever. I don't even know what to do. Jeff, how are you, buddy?
I'm doing well. Glad to be here.
And we appreciate you being here. You all have to excuse me while I light my cigar because it went out because I've been talking. My voice is shot. It's been a lousy week for work, but it's going to be a great week here on the show because we got Jeff Reese and Jeff Morton and Rosie over there giggling in the bottom because she's like, so I love that woman. You know, I've been married to this woman for 30 years.
Goodness
Can you believe that?
Gracious.
She put up with me that long. In fact, she's put up with me 35 years at this point. So it's just, that's where the gray comes from right there. Everyone knows his name.
That's right.
Oh, Jeff Reese. So tell us a little bit about the Expeditors Services and the ESA Advantage program and all that so we can start off that way. How's that?
Absolutely. I love to tell this story. So, very long story short. So we offer a fuel shop tire discount program. It's been established. We've been in business for about 16 years. Throughout that time, we've been able to grow. We've kind of had our own assets that we've been able to develop relationships with our with our different vendor partners for fuel, for shop, for tires. And then here over the last about 3 years, we started developing the program to be able to take it direct to market. So take it out
Nice.
and really our whole business model, no matter which direction you go, which division you work in or work with, is dedicated to helping one truck owners up to 20 truck fleets be
Our
successful in
people.
business. So that is our business right there. So we're in business to help other people's businesses. Yeah.
I
So
dig it. I dig it. No, because I mean, and that flows with what we do. You know, we're here trying to make people or help people do better and be more successful in their small businesses. Most of the people we deal with, as you know, are single truck guys, and a great deal of them literally just starting out. I mean, look, I'm gonna say these words, and it's gonna make someone go like that. But like, half our people like legit don't even read the contract, and so they are so new, so fresh, and so not aware of what's going on that, you know, when I reached out to you guys and through Enos and all that, that, you know, it just, man, it just seemed to make sense. You know what I mean? It's just like,
sure.
oh man, we finally, there's a fuel, you know, card that we can use. You know, the other services you guys offer. You know, I know I don't talk a lot about the other services because honestly, to me personally, they're not a benefit to me at this point in my business.
I do.
Sure.
But yeah, Jeff looks at stuff and talks about it, and so for me, my big focus and a lot of the focus of our group is that fuel card, and that fuel card is phenomenal. And
Absolutely.
Jeff, do not say the name that shall not be named.
No promises, but I'm going to try. I'm going to
Man,
try my
I
best.
don't have a bleep button. And just so y'all know, there is a certain truck stop chain that we cannot say out in the wild here in the social medias, as we like to call them, the Facebooks and the YouTubes and the whatevers. So yeah, you'll see us tap right around that whole thing, hopefully, ever so
Absolutely.
eloquently.
Yeah, basically though,
Absolutely.
yeah, but you know, if you call them up, if you fill out the form to get the contact, they'll tell you exactly what the deal is.
Right.
And
Right.
one of the things, Jeff, that we ran into when we first started working with you was people would get their card and they're like, "Well, the app doesn't work." Well, did you call your guy, the guy's phone number that's in the welcome packet that you got with the card?
Right.
Oh, you're supposed to do that? I can't stress this enough. Call your account guy because they will
Right.
walk you through step by step, setting up the card, setting up the app, how to use the app, how to
In
run
fact,
the different searches,
don't even
everything.
download anything until you call them because they will
That's
walk you
right.
through step by step which app and everything else. Here you go.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. And to that point, so just to kind of go back and talk about why we can't say certain names, our discount is so drastic, so
It's
big that
ridiculously large.
they don't want us really using their name to advertise it because they've got their own sales reps calling on and their own larger customers that don't
Right.
get as good a discount as this. So just so you guys know, y'all are getting the discount of about a 15,000 truck fleet.
Right.
So it's, I mean, we've been able to grow that much and work with our vendor partners, and we pass 100% of the discount to our customers.
If
So
only
you get
everyone did
everything.
that, Jeff Reese. If only everyone did that. You know, I'm just saying, I'm not going to
Charlie.
say it. I'm stopping right there. I'm ending it right there. 15,000 truck fleet. I'm just saying there's some correlate, whatever.
Well, so people know how this all started was we started looking at the fuel costs as it started rising and the discount that we get from our carrier Swift, not phenomenal.
5
So we
cents.
found a card that gave us closer to 12, 13 cents. But we found out that because it's a Swift-owned company, we didn't qualify for it.
Right.
So then we looked at some of your competitors. Then we looked at you, and you guys ended up having the best overall deal, we thought. So that's why we're all here. For a single truck fleet, for a single truck owner operator, you know, again, Swift gets their discount based on their comm data purchases for a given whatever contracted
Right.
period of time. That's their business. What ESA gives us is that same negotiating power, but we only have one truck. So
Right.
it's a really great deal.
It's
I
not
mean,
even
just
just
to
a
give you
great
an
deal. It's
idea, just today,
phenomenal.
before we came on the show, I had to fuel before the show because I know that prices are going up tonight from other things, and I saved $25 just today. That was only on 60 gallons worth of fuel.
Right.
Saved
Nice.
$25.
Nice.
So
And
we came across something, Jeff Reese. We realized that the wholesale fuel market follows the heating oil market almost identically. So if the heating oil market closes today at 5.15 at say up 0.015 cents,
Mhm.
those discounts will reflect almost directly through through the other discount fuel cards that are out there and that sort of thing. And we're like, oh, that's kind of cool info because now we can actually forecast about a day and a half out by
That's
watching that
amazing.
market. So
and I'm gonna
it's great.
I'm gonna use that to jump to Roland Espinosa's question.
Gotcha.
Could we get daily updates on how much fuel fluctuates per day, kind of like your competitor does?
Yeah.
So I would say
Great.
this. Yeah, that would be a nice feature for your app. That really would. Because that's one of the sources that we have is other people are on that other card. And we have a guy that posts every day what they say fuel's going to do at midnight. But Charlie and I found out again about this heating oil thing. So we could just do it ourselves. But it would be kind of a cool feature.
And we are about a day and a half in advance following that heating oil index when it closes every
Mm-hmm.
day. Because today it'll close at 5 or close today at 5.15. And when that price will go into effect for us is not midnight tonight, but midnight tomorrow night. So I
see.
know what I see. We can see what it's going to do a day out, a day and a half out, which is great. So we're like, oh crap, we better fuel up today. Today's the day because it's going up tomorrow. Or oh, maybe I can stretch it out till tomorrow because it's going to drop.
Yep.
So basically, a daily fuel fluctuation
Analysis.
projection, almost
Right.
like just a
Mhm.
projection for. So here's the thing too, that we're a small business.
Right.
With us being a small business, we're agile. We're able to listen to questions like this and
And that's why we
requests.
love you.
And so we've got the ES Advantage mobile app. We're building it out right now. Just so you guys know, the next release that's coming out, it's going to show your most recent transactions, savings per transaction, all that stuff, just to kind of give you on the dashboard at a glance how you doing for
Right.
the recent purchases. Um, the one after that, the next release, which is going to be in about 3 weeks, we're going to have our own map built into the ES Advantage
Very cool.
application. So we're trying to bring everything into one place just to make it easier for everybody.
Right.
And so beyond that, we're starting to look for, okay, what else can we how else can we bring value to our customers?
Right.
So that's actually been noted because I really like that, and that could be as simple as a daily push notification or
Right.
something like
Mhm.
that. So
And I believe that's how the other company does it as well. It's a push notification that comes out through their app and that sort of thing. And
yeah,
and like I said, with Jeff and I, we simply pull up the NASDAQ Mercantile Exchange,
hmm
pop up heating oil, and we're like, yeah, day and a half out, we know what's happening. All right,
yep,
we tell people
Makes us
what's
feel
up.
really smart.
It does. I mean, it's weird.
that's awesome.
I had a question here real quick. Trick or Todd, what is the Swift fuel card discount if you use their card? Trick or Todd, it is 5 cents. 5 cents.
Never
Now
goes up, never goes down.
it
It's
does not
5 cents.
fluctuate, which is why
Look at
we don't
Jeff
use
smiling there. He
many
knows
of
he's
their.
got them beat.
That's why. Oh, tremendously.
Yes, yes. So I can tell you that our average discount, and this is a solid average that we've been looking at basically since we established the discount program, and started really beta testing it with our own internal fleet. The average is 55 cents a gallon. So 55 cents a gallon. That means that at some locations you're going to get. Actually, I sent something out earlier today. The highest discount that somebody received this past week was $1.25 off a
Right.
gallon. But
Nice.
then, you could go a few states over and you could get 35 cents. But
Right.
at the end of the day, if you're staying true to the discount network, you'll end up averaging 55 cents or better, just depending on how well you work the system.
Yeah, I've seen definitely better than that. So
We have also noticed too, though, that during times of extremes, like what we saw last couple months, we saw one fuel price gain of like 80 cents overnight,
Yes.
and those discounts went.
and
They
that
get
was on the
squeezed.
retail side. Yeah.
Yep.
Um, so there's definitely a lag between
There
the
is.
discount and the retail price.
See, that's
Right.
one
Just
of
be
the things
aware
I
of
have
that.
not put together yet is how the wholesale fuel market that you guys purchase and work through versus the retail market. They do not, absolutely, they don't come even close to having ups and downs. There is no like connection to them whatsoever. It's the craziest thing. Because 1 week the retail prices will go up 10 cents today, 30 cents tomorrow, 40 cents the next day, 50 cents the next day, and you're like, holy hell, what happened? But our market, that the on the wholesale side, is pretty steady. It's like, oh, we're up 5, we're down 2, we're up 5, we're down 3,
Yeah, it's the
and
weirdest
it's
thing.
it's baffling. Like I can't figure out how to connect them. There's got to be a way to connect them somehow, but I have not. We have not. We've tried. We cannot figure it out, man. It hurts.
Yeah, that math is hard.
It is ridiculous, man. Like there's some algorithms being worked somewhere that are just baffling.
So it's an interesting time too, just with the volatility of fuel prices and oil and everything else.
Right.
So um, it makes it hard to predict anything
Oh my
really.
God, right. Look, like I said, look, I'm happy to have a day and a half heads up on our prices just based off of the heating oil market. It makes me happy. But yeah, so any of you guys who have not looked into the card, if you go to this address right here, it's a landing page that this man right here built for us over the weekend. When I first I talked to this man on a Friday, and by Monday this landing page was built, and we were getting cards out. I mean, it was that quick a deal. I think I spoke to him the first time on Thursday, and Friday we followed up. And Friday, you're like, man, we're gonna knock this out. We're gonna get you guys going. We're gonna save some money in it. And so if you use this link instead of Contractors Corner getting the $50 referral, that referral will go back to you guys. We didn't want it. We're out here trying to help you guys save more money. So by all means, whatever. If you guys, want to get in the referral program and start referring this out to other people, have at it. Knock yourselves out. There's an app that you guys use just for the referral program. Isn't that right, Jeff?
That's correct. It's called Rocket CDL. So once you actually sign up for the card, you'll automatically gain access to be able to sign up for the Rocket CDL app to give referrals. And actually, we've got a promotion going on right now too. It's kind of a raffle, but we do things. We're kind of like a go big or go home
Right.
type company. So we don't just do one raffle; we do 3. So every time that you send in a referral, your name gets put into the drawing.
Very cool.
But what we don't just do one drawing, we do 3. So we do one drawing for $500, one for $250, and one for $125.
Yes, please.
So and that's going on till the end of this month. So we
Very
got about a
cool.
week left in that. And we'll do some kind of little fun video or something like that to
Nice.
make the announcement and all that stuff. It won't be as cool as your stuff, Charlie and
Whatever,
Jeff,
man.
but
Can you get
you know.
Enos in like a really cool outfit, like maybe a little tube top or something? Because I'm just saying, I want to see EJ in a tube top. I don't know if that's weird. I don't know, man.
What is it with you and the tube tops?
Well, it's Rosie, man. Like, she brings weird things out of my head. I don't know. I don't understand what's happening. So I haven't heard of any problems recently, but just in case anybody does have problems with any of the services provided by the ES Advantage folks, if you reach out to this email address right here, esadvantage@expeditorsservices.com, and just say, hey, this problem occurred, they will get back to you, and they will they're usually pretty quick about it. Every now and then you guys get bogged down. We get that, and maybe we'll tell them. They're like, dude, I sent them an email a couple days ago. I haven't heard. I'm like, send it again.
Yeah.
They'll get to it, man. I promise you.
Yep.
But So,
Alan is messing with our buzz here with an actual issue.
oh my God, where did you go? I'm sorry, I got off of that. Let's see. So, let me pull Alan up. I apologize. What do you say? So, as a fleet owner with ES, when I load funds via the ES app and then you log into the carrier control app, all your reloads show up as past due invoices in red blocks. I don't even know what
So,
he's talking about.
so there's a there that's the WEX platform, which is why we're working to consolidate everything into
Nice.
our mobile app. So once that happens, they won't have to worry about looking into that, because that's just a credits and debits thing on how they record the entry um, for the pre-fund. It's just, it is a little confusing. So I understand that, and I apologize, but that's why we're moving everything to our mobile app, so that reporting and everything can be a lot more clear.
Right.
So
Look at
that'll
that.
be on the actual ES Advantage app then?
Yes, it will.
So Trucker Todd is another YouTube guy. He actually runs his own channel there, and he's contracted to Dart. And he, look at that, tuned in and said, "Hey, I agree. The S Advantage fuel card is a much better deal. Yes, yes, sir. Yes, it is." I don't know what they're using over there. I actually asked him during a live video one time what their discount was, and I think he had logged out already. But if you're still there, Trucker Todd, I'd be curious to know what kind of discount you guys are getting from Dart. Just because I'm a nosy bastard and I want to know things like that. I can't help it. I just like knowing what people are doing. That's all.
Yep.
Let's see. See, I love all these people talking about how they slowed down. This one, Bitcoin John, he slowed down to 55 because of Charlie. Yep. This guy does 55. 55 makes people crazy. They don't even know what the hell's wrong with me as they go by me. They're like, he must be broken or something. His truck must be broke because they
Dude,
tear
I
by
was
me at 80.
I was just chilling Charlie before the show. I generally drive 60 everywhere I go, so I was doing my normal thing, be bopping down the road. Get the old air horn with lady in the passenger seat going, "Hey, speed up," you know. They're parked right next to me right now.
That's the greatest part of it, the whole thing. There you go. And Trucker
So
Todd
I
says,
don't
"Reach out and get
know,
a card."
you know, what advantage they thought they got from that, but they're parked right next to me. So
Hey Todd, if you're still there, if you use that link, it's open to you, man. We had it set up so that anybody that uses the link can use it. You don't have to be a Swift person or whatever. Use that link, and you will get that that $50
we
deal when
should
it comes back to you once you load it up. And yes, I know where you're going, Jeff. How much
probably bring up the change in the
how much
how
money
much you
needs
have
to
to
be
put down to
loaded?
get the card,
Right.
because that's somewhat recent and people were surprised by it. So let's go over that real quick. It used to
'Cause we
be
were
50
lost.
bucks,
Mhm.
and now it's 100. Is that right?
That's correct. So it's a yeah. So the minimum, what we try to do, if you're able to, is give us at least a half a tank to try it out. But the minimum got moved up to $100. Just that allows them to be able to really at least see a true savings,
Right.
and feel things out. With the $50 that people through Contractors Corner are going to receive, that equates to about 25 free fuel ups too,
All
which is
right.
nice. So no transaction fee or anything like that from that side. But
Mhm.
um, but yeah, so that's what it is now. 100 bucks to put on the card. When the card gets to you, it's good to go, ready to
Totally
go.
reasonable, man. I have no problems
And
with that
and
whatsoever
you
either.
know, uh, once we explain it to, there's one guy in particular was like, "I'm not going to put 100 bucks on this thing," and once we explained to him that this is not a fee,
Mm-mm.
this is
Right.
money that goes on your card. You're just charging it before you get it. That's it. That
Exactly.
money is yours. It's on the card. You can use
Prepaying
it
your
for fuel.
card.
Exactly.
And part of that too is when I set it up, that part was beneficial also because he walked me through which app to use,
Mhm.
how to do it,
Right.
and what the transaction fees were going to be if I used debit card versus ACH.
3.5% versus 0.005.
Yes.
Correct. You got it.
Look at that. Look, I was trying to build you an ad today. I was literally going to build an ad today for you, Jeff Reese, and the ES Advantage fuel card, right? And I didn't get home until 4 a.m. this morning,
Mhm.
and then I slept for an hour and had this massive coughing attack. I don't know what the heck's going on. So then I got back up and I'm like, the hell with it. I'm gonna go do some work. And I got to work on a computer and I got the show ready and all my stuff. And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna knock out this ad too. And I'm like, no, I'm going back to bed. And I stayed in bed till after 1 o'clock.
Goodness.
Look, I'm still in pajamas. That's how
Nobody
I'm
wants
rolling
to see
today.
that.
You're welcome. You're welcome. It's one of the few times. Look, okay, this is a funny thing because, like, I'm almost never without a pistol on my hip. If you want to come attack me, now's the time. No pistol on my hip. I'm just saying. You can bust through my door and come in the head. It's the time. I don't know why you'd want to, but go ahead. Whatever. But yeah,
So
Jeff Reese, we dig you, man.
all that money you got buried in the basement.
Yeah, right. Yeah. After this week, oh my gosh, not happening this week.
No.
I don't know about what all you guys have been doing out there, but this week was rough for Rosie and I, and it was not a pleasant one for Jeff, and it's not been a pleasant one for a lot of people. But I don't know, it's going to get better, and you know what? Even more reason to have the ES Fuel card in your pocket and using it, because the more money you save, the more money you keep, and the more money you keep, the easier it is to get to these crappy times and freight and all that sort of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Slow down and watch the road go by slower.
As Charlie and I have discussed it, we've come to a number of $5,000 that we think people should keep on the card.
That does seem like a magic number. It covers you
because that way, what you're doing is you're cash flowing those fuel ups. So, like right now, I fell behind in some things, so I had to use money elsewhere. So I was on the data card last week.
Las Vegas got us.
Hey, nothing.
We all went to Vegas. There's a whole bunch of people out there, and we all lost our tails. It was great,
and it needs to stay there. But, so, like this week, I filled up my card using my debit card because I needed the money for today and tomorrow, which cost me 3.5%. But normally, if you've got that $5,000 in there, though, you can just roll it, right? You'll always have enough money for fuel with that amount of money on there. And if the market does what some doomsayer types are saying it does, maybe we want 8,000 in there eventually. But at that point, we're talking about $10 a gallon fuel. And as much as Charlie and I joke about we want it to get there, that would be really devastating for the economy. So we're really hoping it doesn't get that far.
So Driving with Bob says, I use TCS and Mudflap. How is this card different? I don't know anything about Mudflap's an app and you prepay it. TCS, I don't know what that is.
Yeah, TCS, they're another discount fuel card. So I can tell you that we typically line up. If you have a conversation with us, what we'll do is we'll actually, if you want to pull up their app and their pricing, and we'll pull up ours, and we'll literally go location by location and prove out that our discounts are better.
I've done that with Nastic side by sides, and about 9 times out of 10 we were able to beat them about 3 cents, if not 5. So is sometimes as much as 10.
Yeah.
And there'd be 1 or 2 that were here that were, they've got the better one. So by all means, if you've got both, man, we're not saying just use ES Advantage. We're saying find your lowest price and purchase it that way.
Absolutely.
So what we did find out too is that ES Advantage doesn't have all the fees that are associated with Nastic.
Right.
So you guys, when we sat down and compared apples to apples, including fees, ESA beat Nastic more often even.
Yeah, with the 250 transaction fee, there's a transaction fee 250. So if you know what, I'm gonna let you explain that better, Jeff, because I'm gonna tear it up.
Sure. So really, there's only 2 small fees that get charged to the customer. One of those is the fee when you load. Like Charlie and Jeff both said, it's either 3.5% to use when you use a credit or debit card, but there's a benefit to that because you get those funds on the card within 24 hours. If you if you fund it before 3 p.m. Central Time, you'll actually get those funds the same day onto the card. You can also use an ACH option, which is basically a push from your bank account to the card, which is only 1/2 of 1%. So that's $5 on the 1,000. However, we're at the mercy of the banking system, so it takes 3
Right.
to 4 business days for those funds
Right.
to leave the bank and then get all the way to us, and for our liability so that we can actually stay in business and so that fraudsters don't come and just take all our money,
Right.
we can't put the funds on the card until we actually receive the funds. So
Right.
Seems
that's,
fair to me. I don't know.
so, we actually, we tried it the other way, and, because every time that there's a rule, there's a reason for the rule, right? Something
Right.
happened. So we had this
Mhm.
happen before, and we're trying some different things, and we lost about 150 grand in a
Oof.
week.
Ouch.
So, just people being dishonest. So is what it is. Um, but so those are the two options for funding the card, and then on the other side there is a $2.50 transaction fee. So that means that when you swipe the card, there will be a $2.50 charge that will reflect on your report. So it's per swipe. So basically, what that means though, it's not $2.50 per product that you purchase. It's a transaction fee. So if you need to purchase diesel and DEF and run in there and get some oil to top off your oil or get additives or whatever, that's all considered one transaction. So that's $2.50 for all that. So, and those are the only two charges that our customers
I just want
see.
to clarify that because it's a per swipe fee, but the way that it works out. It's the algorithm built into the card. It says, okay, you swiped your card at the pump, you got $700 worth of fuel. God, that hurts to say even. You got $700 worth of fuel. Then you walked inside and you got some oil and you swiped your card again. You're not getting charged a second 250 for that swipe. It sees that you're still at the same location and
Hmm.
you're only getting hit for that 250 once. And then you go out to the shop and buy a fuel filter and you're like, oh damn, I'm gonna get hit for 250 again. Nope, you're still at the same location. It sees that and it's like, all right, only 250.
And
So
I'll just point out too, anybody that's ever worked retail and had to do credit card receipts and all that stuff, this is basically the clearinghouse fee.
right.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yep.
Whenever you swipe MasterCard, Visa, Discover, whatever, the credit card company is who's taking that 250. Same thing with the fill. That's going to the clearance house. That's not going to ESA. So, anytime you deal with a bank, they're going to get their cut one way or the other. And so that's what those fees really are.
Oh, so Trucker Todd hasn't announced he's actually left Dart. I'm surprised, Todd. I figured you were there for everybody. I'm not even gonna lie. It hasn't said where he's going yet, so we'll see where that turns out. Cool for you, but congratulations, I think, or whatever. And CW said, what if he decides to retire? How would we go about getting a refund of the funds left on the account? I think that's an easy answer.
Is that for me?
That's for you, sir.
So yeah, we'll work with our customers on that. If there's a situation where they need to get those funds off the card, you can register a check off the card. Just depends on depending on how much you have on there. It's also it also has the Mastercard option on there, and that's so you can use it for really it's fuel and shop and tire type purchases for our customers protection that's set that way, but you can also draw it down that way. But that's we have options,
Right.
so it's
Well,
your money. So
we can still do cash advances off it
yeah,
during the a fuel
yes,
transaction or something like that.
that's
So I
correct.
mean, look, if it's your last fuel up, you're like, bam, here we go. This is the one, and this is the last trip. I'm gonna fill my tank with $12 because that's all it's gonna take me to get to the terminal, and I'm gonna cash out the last grand that's on that card today, baby. Whoop whoop, retirement. Oh my god, I just can't even imagine. I don't even know what to do. I would what Rosie would be upset if I retired tomorrow. She's like, no, you get your ass to work.
Hmm.
There will be no more of this retirement stuff. I tried before. I played the Mr. Mom thing for a while, and I ended up raising chickens and goats and pigs, and I was making people crazy, like for real, making people crazy around the property. It was not okay. That's how I ended up back in trucking again. In 14 years, here I am, still at Swift, just doing my thing.
Yep.
Whatever. Don't judge me, you people. I can see the judgment in your faces. they're out to get me. Anyhow, look, so yeah, discounts. We have to be
Yes.
careful how we say these, but 3 of the 5 big 5 chains we get steep discounts at. And what I will say, just to keep Jeff from, putting anything weird out there, is the 2 chains that we do not get discounts at are the Pilot and Flying J. And so just take from that what you will. There are also other fuel stops in that discount network. I know that you guys set it up so that there were some light spots here and there where there wasn't a Petro or a TA, and that we were getting our discounts out. And I think there's some Ambests, a couple of those out there, maybe something else.
Yeah, it's a few Ambests, all the Sap Brothers, um, and the kind of the Midwest, Upper Midwest. You got the Quick Trips and Quick
With the
Stars
K.
with the K,
I
with the
don't,
K,
Okay, not the Q.
I don't even know.
with
I
the
can't
K.
make a K.
So, and I will say this too for those up there, if you do need to fuel up there, those are actually best to do it inside the store as opposed to at the pump.
Okay.
You're guaranteed to get your discount inside the store
Okay.
when you use your card to fuel up. So
So
that's
there's
one
some
thing that
sort of
we've kind
data
of
problem
learned.
there.
Yeah, there is. So I just want to
Okay.
go ahead and put that out there. We've heard it from a few people. So, and I am in touch with the rep about that, but
And if you have any
just to be
problems like that,
proactive.
here you go. Reach out to this email address.
There you go. There you go.
See, look, I remember one of the when we had you on here, I was like, oh man, I don't have that email address. And look, I was prepared today. I was mostly prepared today. I'm just saying, I like got these things on lockdown today. And for those of you who don't have the card and want to get it, go to this website. You can look it up there. And if you don't want to share that referral bonus with other people and you want to collect it all yourself, by all means do that. We're not going to get mad at you. Do what you got to do, sign them, get the card, start referring people. Look, I'm telling you, I stand at Fuel Islands with this card. I'm like, hey man, how much of a discount you getting over there? He's like, I'm not getting any. I'm like, dude, you should check out this card. These guys are great. And they're like, what the hell are you talking about? You drive for Swift. What do you even know about anything? I'm like, dude, I know some things. All right. And I will show them. I'm like, pull up your fuel price. They're like, bam, right here. I'm like, bam, here's mine. Got you beat by 25 cents. They're like, dude,
right.
how do I sign up? And I got a little QR code. I show people on my phone. I'm like, scan it, go for it, bro. And they poof, there they go. I don't know how many of those people have signed up, but I know that I've shown a lot of people that QR code. And they think I'm out of my mind. They're like, that guy's crazy. He's just walking up to me random at the fuel.
And if you guys are, for those of you that are in our Facebook group too, the discussion on this has cooled down because it's not brand new to us anymore.
Right.
But ask away. We can go over details with you just as well.
My bad. I'm typing. I apologize. So yeah. But it's funny because like when I share this with other people that aren't in the Swift network, they are baffled that we have access to something like this, and they're like, well, how did you come across this? I'm like, well, my buddy Matt Wright pointed it out to us one day, and he's like, you guys should check these guys out. And then I tell him the whole story about how I talked to EJ, and then I ended up talking to Jeff Reese, and Jeff Reese like, man, this is great. I like the sound of this. I like what you guys are doing, and how it all just evolved and just blew up real quick. And it's been great, man. It really has been. I can't talk any better about you guys than Jeff and I do, because you guys have been so responsive. If we have a problem, you're like, hey man, yeah, it's let us show you, here's the fix, and we've got a new system. And you guys work with us, and you're like, oh crap, we didn't even know that happened. Let's make that fix happen. And then all of a sudden, boom, we have access to something new. So I mean, seriously, you guys have been phenomenal with the way that you've responded to things, issues. I mean, problems people have had. The only complaint that I've heard several times over right now, and I'm guessing it's because, like you said, you guys are growing so quickly right now, is some folks have said, well, I signed up, I sent in my info request, and I haven't heard from these guys. And I'm like, well, give them a couple days. They're like, bro, it's been a week. I'm like, oh, I don't know.
Yep.
They're a little backed up.
We it's growing pains, and we're actually, I was telling Charlie earlier offline that we're actually, because of that, we're adding more people into our team to be able to support the growth. So, um, I apologize for that. If you haven't heard from us, please give us another shout. Shoot an email. I do actually get those emails to that ES Advantage email
You
address
mean
as
that one
well.
right there?
That one right there. So, especially if you put in their second request or something like that, you better believe I'll be all over that and all over my
Right.
team. Hey, you need to call these people right now. So, don't hesitate to do that. I get that. The customer service manager gets that as well. So
Cool.
we'll make sure to, if anything accidentally fell through the cracks on that, I apologize and we'll make it right.
Yeah.
So
I also tell people, I'm like, look for a number calling you from Mississippi and don't ignore that one because that's probably them. I mean, look, I don't even know what to, because look, I'm that guy. My phone rings and it says Mississippi. I don't know anybody from Mississippi. I'm like,
yep.
Floop. Send voicemail.
Yep. Oh, that's actually a good point too, Charlie, because one thing that we discovered too. So we just revamped our entire phone system, and
Oh,
now, which is, whew, we're through the hard part. But one thing
Right.
that we are finding out is that I think it's Verizon customers are, for some reason, it's our numbers are coming up as
It's
potential
potential
spam.
spam. Oh, I didn't
Yeah.
even think about that. They're really good with that service, but
Mhm.
I could see where that might be a problem.
yeah.
So it's funny because that, like, we'll be talking to somebody and they'll be like, "Yeah, I just happened to answer the phone, but y'all came up as potential spam." It's like, "But you asked us for the information.
Right, right.
We're not spamming you. We're replying back."
I wonder if there's a way to stop that. I should try and figure out. Maybe that's what we'll do. We'll try and figure out what number your guys' call comes from,
Mhm.
and maybe we'll tell people, hey, when you sign up for the card, throw this number into like a whitelist, or save it in your contacts so it doesn't come up as spam,
Mhm.
and that way you're like, oh, there they are. I have to
Yeah,
see
that's
if
a
it
thought.
comes up. If there's
Hey,
any way you can figure out it when you guys do outbound calls, if it shows up as a single number, if it comes up different depending on the extensions they're on or something like that.
Mhm.
But if there's a way to make it come out as a single number, then we could have people whitelist that and put it in their system so it never goes that potential spam thing. So I don't know. I don't know if that's something we can do or not.
Yeah, I
Seems like
think
it'd be an
that
easy fix.
it does come across as a single number. I can what I'll do is I'll email that to you.
Okay,
I
cool.
mean, and then we'll just experiment. That's half the fun, right?
Yeah, right. No, look, I like trying to break things and figure things out.
I'm really
And,
good at breaking stuff.
Darn Car says so does
I love it.
AT&T. Shows up as spam.
Okay. Yep.
So
I think it's probably anybody that's got a spam filter. And my guess is what's happening is, I'm sorry, man, but most of us just don't know people from Mississippi.
right, right.
So,
Who lives in
so,
Mississippi? Oh, wait.
so when you get a call from some place that you just never get calls from, maybe that's what's happening.
That makes
And I
sense.
want to,
So, yeah.
I want to address CW real quick on this Maverick thing
Oh, I
because
apologize.
he must run up in my area because Maverick is huge, like through Utah and Nevada and New Mexico. So no, they're not in network, but they do take WEX, and this is a WEX card.
So you get the cash price.
So just so you know, Jeffrey, Maverick pretty much beats everybody for diesel fuel in
Okay.
this lane. It's even with the discounts, like they're always like 5 cents less. So
They're
you
aggressive.
can, they are, um, and they're just huge here. They're I don't think they're anywhere else in the world except for this little lane here. But yeah, they are very aggressive.
Hmm.
So you can use it there. They do not take com data, but they do take WEX. So
Right.
you can use it there. Just you won't get any additional discounts. But if you're doing like we preach and you're checking your fuel prices along your lane, using all of the tools at your disposal, and you find that that Maverick is going to save you 5 cents, use the card there. They'll
I
take
can't
it.
help myself. It's like I'm a little kid back here. I'm just bored. Daddy's not paying attention to me. Look, 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 Jeff Reese. I made
Look at
stickers.
me. I know those are
So,
sharp.
and these QR codes go directly to that link.
Yep.
We have them out at several terminals. We have driver leaders handing them out to new contractors and things like that. I dropped a bunch off at our Phoenix terminal, our corporate headquarters, the main owner op division headquarters there. They're available there. If you pop in and see Lizette, the on-site owner op recruiter there, she can hand you one of those stickers and get you access to that card. If you don't follow the website, you can just scan it. You can just scan it with your camera. It's like, oh, let's go to that little website right there.
Yeah, just go visit Lisette anyway, and if you
Right?
make her smile, I trust me, that smile will just make your week.
And while you're
She
there, do
she's
me
a
a
smiler.
favor, pop into the company store and say hi to Christina and tell her that, Charlie, the Swift famous guy, said hello.
And
It's
that there's
an
a
inside
$25 bounty on any picture of her.
Yeah. Oh, yes. That would be great. I'm not paying it. Jeff's paying $25. I'm not paying $25. Jeff Reese is going to pay $25 for every picture you get of Christina. Okay. No, that's not true. I take that back. He didn't even know who the hell Christina is. He's like,
I
what
don't
just
even know who
happened
that
here?
is.
Right? Oh,
Like, what did I just get committed
She
to?
runs
I was
our
annoying this
company
girl. It's
store.
great.
She runs our company store in Phoenix, and we were there to shoot some video with the corporate guys. And we wanted to get her in on it too, but she was
not
having
having it.
none of it. She does not.
No. She's like, I'm like, look, I told you I was going to be here today with cameras. And she's like, look, I don't even have my face on. I'm like, I told you 3 days ago. I don't even know what to tell you. And then she ran us out of the store.
She
with the
actually
threat of
told us to
violence.
leave.
Yeah, oh, yeah. She there was violence about to happen. So I don't even know. But apparently Don Carr says it shows up as spam on AT&T as well. So yeah, we'll get a hold of that number that should show up, and then we'll just pass out to people and say, hey, look, when you sign up for the card, put this phone number in your phone in your contacts so that when it pops up, you'll know who it is and it won't go to spam and then you'll actually hear from, because they probably have called you. If you haven't gotten a call, they probably have called you and it's gone to your spam. So I mean, there is that. Look for a Mississippi number.
Yep. And the other thing I have my team doing now too is, and one reason why we switched over to this new platform for our telephones is because now that they also have direct text messaging capabilities. So what we typically do, especially on the first call in, if nobody answers, we'll leave a voicemail and then we'll turn right back around and send a text message to that same person saying, hey, it's us trying to reach out to you. So yeah, we're trying to open up the floodgates for communication in any way, shape, or form we can to make sure that we're getting to everybody.
And if any of you guys out there want to call in and ask Jeff Reese a question, or myself or Jeff Morton a question, by all means do so. Call 1-813-LIVE-SEC 548-3722, and we'll put you on the air and you can talk to us like we're real people and stuff like that, and just pretend like we're not just in our little world alone. Because you know why? Rosie's sitting there all by herself, lonely, has no one to talk to right now. She's just sitting there sipping on her soda, her weird soda. I don't even know what it is. It's terrible. It's just yucky stuff. But whatever. She's there. She's willing to take a call.
Just
Coke.
Whatever. You know what? We're done with you. I've had enough of you. Though. I know. She's
that fancy French stuff. I don't know.
She's like that. Jeff Reese, what other services are out there for folks through the ES Advantage program? Because not all of the people that watch us are Swift contractors. Sure. There are people out there that, have their own authority, small fleets, things like that. What sort of things do you guys have to offer them? Because I know there's a lot.
Yeah, we've got, obviously we've got fuel discounts. We've got shop discounts. We've got tire discounts, nationwide. So so what we call ourselves, we don't sell any of this stuff. So we're not a fuel card company. We don't sell fuel. We don't sell tires. What we are is we're a community, and what community brings opportunity is what I like to say. So
yeah, I dig it.
Once you come into our community, you actually have access to all of our vendor network. So we've got shop discounts, for example, with TA. So you can go over there and you can get a discounted PM. You can, just there's several different things there and there's a website that we can send out to with some additional information that kind of itemizes out all the different services, stuff like that.
Well said, sir. So, I saw you struggling. You were tripping. You were like, don't say the name. Don't. I was going to do one of these to you. Pow.
It's like all of a sudden, like, where am I? What just
Right?
happened?
What just happened, man? Thought we were flowing.
So we've got shop discounts, we've got tire discounts. So we got tire discounts with TA and Petro, for example, as well as with Goodyear stores. So you can actually order your through our mobile app. You can order tires through Goodyear and figure out where you want them to be installed, where you want to pick them up, whatever the
Right.
case may be there. So um, we also have with one of our partners, you get um, platinum status for their rewards, right?
Careful.
So that's 3 times the points whenever you purchase fuel or anything at their stores, as well as um, as well as 2 free showers a day and free refills as
Yes,
well.
coffee. My
So
wife gets upset when periodically we drop out of that status and she doesn't get her free coffee. She's like, "Dang it, I had to pay for my coffee." And I'm
yep,
like, "Oh, the tragedy." Look at her face. Bam! She's like, "Yeah, I had to pay for coffee today because I kind of slipped off the card for a little bit. Had to go back to my old con data and use that." So and just
So
just as a warning to people, if you use your SwiftCom data or another fuel card with this platinum status card,
careful.
yes, sir, you will be knocked out of platinum status because they automatically think you're no longer using the ES Advantage card. So what I do and what Rosie and I do is we actually have a separate beautiful. Oh, damn it. Almost went there. I may have to bleep that. I don't know. We're going to have to, damn it. Got to go back and look.
every
Anyhow,
single
we have a
time.
separate card for that facility that we use with our other fuel card so that we don't ever have that mix up. Look, it's like
Because you never have mix-ups.
something just happened in church and
So
the whole congregation
this
just
is
turned to
actually
look
a
at me.
question I'm interested in.
Thank you.
Do
Save
you have
me.
any discounts on roadside services? Is that included in there?
It is. We do through our TA relationship. We do.
Okay,
Yes. Yes.
sweet.
And
I know, like that's one of the things when I was looking last year at getting my own authority was that sort of, okay, if I have to have someone come out and do something, what's that going to cost me? So there's discounts available for that. Good.
yes, Sue
And
Smith insurance
insurance
definitely
program.
right.
Right.
And thank you, Rosie. I love you. I'm so done with you. Get out of my. You know what? You're done in here. Anyhow, but yeah, the ES Advantage, the Expeditors Services does offer insurance programs for different types of
Yes.
insurances. Like I said, I
Yep.
was gonna do this whole ad today and I just screwed it up. It was gonna be great,
Yeah,
man. It's
basically,
epic.
so like when Charlie and I were putting this group together, we had this kind of dream of taking people from company to carrier.
Right.
So having people start out like whatever Swift Academy or their affiliates, learn how to drive truck,
Mhm.
get them into the Swift Owner Operator program with the idea of growing the business into their own authority. And so that's for, we figured maybe 5% of the people we talked to would actually do that because that's a big leap, right? But you offer almost all the services that a guy would need to
That's
accomplish
our
that.
that's our goal. That's our goal is to try to be a one-stop shop for everything that you need, and then you can basically cherry pick if you've got other stuff or other partnerships, you can cherry pick whatever you need to make it work for your business. So
Right.
it's not an all or nothing deal. We want to help where we can. So yeah, we do have relationships with insurance providers, different types of insurance. I can't speak a whole lot in specific. I can't even say that specifically to that
Right.
because I don't sell insurance, so I'm not an
Right.
insurance agent. But
Mhm.
I can tell you that we are drastically, through our relationship, they're able to drastically reduce the cost for premiums on certain types of insurance, just because the way that we're doing it, we're able to cut out the middleman. So able to kind of take people directly to the source, so it actually saves
Right.
from that perspective. And it's kind of the same thing as with fuel. You've got the buying power of a 15,000 truck fleet. Same thing on the insurance side. So they're able to say, hey, well, these guys are grouped in with these 7,000 or however many
Right.
trucks that are already on this. So it just adds one more. So it lowers the risk of the insurance company, so they can lower the premium that's required.
Yeah,
And just
Charlie, we should talk to them, because when we start going over the contract live on the
right.
air and we get to
Right.
that section about trip leasing,
Right.
we may need to make a deal with that.
Exactly. And I was thinking the exact same thing. I thought that might be a good resource for that as well. CW, doubt those discounts would beat the Swift discounts for PM and tires. I can tell you from my personal experience that Swift, their tire discount is completely it's ridiculous. I don't know how they get it. Seriously. I think it's because of how many tires they go through, like legit. Um, but for as far as the PMs go, they're comparable and or better using the ES discount at some of the sites that are available. So yeah, I mean, look, sometimes you just
See,
don't want to deal with the other side of the world, and you just want to do things on your own, and it works out pretty good this way as well.
see, the other thing too is, regardless of who you go to outside of Swift. So Swift does one service, and that service at other shops is the most expensive service.
Right.
At most shops, you got 3 levels of oil changes, basically.
Basic, premium, ultimate, whatever.
Yeah. Swift will always do the ultimate, so it's going to be the most expensive. So if all you really need is your oil and filters changed, it's going to be cheaper to go outside Swift, because
Right.
it's not that they won't do it, but they'll argue with you about it.
And we're also getting discounts on hourly rates.
And it will take them 2 days, whereas some of these other shops will have you out done in 3 hours.
Right.
So you got to factor all that into the cost. You got the
And
discounted price, you got the time involved, all sorts of stuff.
I've seen at times that we have to get a certain Swift discount at certain locations, that we have to utilize the Swift on-road
On-road.
crap, which then charges us a percentage of the transaction fee and or a flat fee, whichever is greater. And with doing it this way, you kind of cut that middle step out. You're the one running your show. You say, I'm covering this. I'm utilizing my ES Advantage program discounts, and I would like to get this done. And because of that ES Advantage discount, the hourly rates that were charged at those major chain shops is discounted off of and set at a pretty decent rate, I believe, for what we're getting out on the road in the wild.
So, if you go like CW, you get the ultimate PM at TA for $300. So if you can get it for less than that with your ESA Advantage card,
I think.
or you could pay cash.
Right.
But if you call Swift On Road to set that up for you, that $300 service is going to cost you $330, because it's 10% of the invoice. So that's
right.
something that you got to realize.
They
call it a convenience fee.
Right. And if you don't use them to set it up, sometimes the shop will give you the discount, sometimes they won't. It's just a whole weird thing. I don't know. I don't understand. It depends shop to shop, and you're like, whatever, man. Just charge me and be done with it. I don't even want to deal with it anymore. I'm just over it. So yeah. Jeff Reese, seriously, man, we dig you. I know that I don't want to keep you too long, because last time we kept you here forever, and your wife's like, dude, where the hell are you? Weren't you home yet?
She's already called me twice.
Oh, see, look, man, you got to let us know you need to bounce, man. We got you, brother. Seriously. So if anyone needs to reach out to you guys, if they have problems, like we said, this beautiful little right here, reach out to ES Advantage at expeditorsservices.com. Put the subject line as what your main issue is, and they will get back to you. And if for some reason you've been trying to get the card and no one's contacted you back, by all means, like Jeffrey said, put in there, second contact attempt or something similar to that. And he's going to go, oh, crap. All right, guys, let's get on this. This is, we got to fix this. We got to do better, because we all got to do better all the time. I'm just saying. And if you don't have the card, go here and sign up. Click the little button that says, I'm interested. I want to save money. And that information, just fill it out. it's going to go to the ES Advantage guys or Expeditors Service. I call you guys ES Advantage. It's stuck in my head, Jeff. But they are Expeditors Services.
Yes. Yeah,
And
my evil plan is working then.
right,
Stuck in your head.
it is.
I love
Oh,
it.
trust
Yeah.
me. I don't think there's a day that goes by that Jeff Morton and I don't mention you, the company, the card, something. It's without fail will happen every day.
Mhm. Yeah.
I love it. I love it. I'm glad though. I really am. We do get a ton of joy out of it, helping people just be more successful. We really do. Which is why we have our URL as success in trucking.
Right. Here's a last quick question for you. Any plans to get the quick trip with a Q on there? That would be a phenomenal one. But you know what? Look, they've got some pretty stellar low prices already. They, as you say in your words, they're aggressive as well.
Yeah. Some people don't like to play ball. So
Right. Look, you know what? You can respect that. You can dig it, whatever. I mean, they are pretty much on their own, pretty aggressive in their pricing because look, when this last couple weeks that I screwed myself and wasn't using the proper fuel card, I gave QT a lot of my money because
Yep.
they were like 50, 60 cents less than everyone else on the road, and I was like, oh my god, yes,
Yeah,
please,
that's the
thank
thing.
you.
So you're probably aware of this already, Jeff, but a lot of where we can get the cheapest fuel depends on which lane we're in.
Right.
And where those guys, QT with a Q, beat everybody is in that I-10, I-20 through Texas.
hmm
And even with discounts, man, I got to tell you, because we shop for fuel because that's what we do.
Right.
And if I can get it for 10 cents less, that's what I do. But in
Yep.
my experience so far, that's the only place is that just that narrow lane there where I'm like, huh, that's interesting.
Right.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. We don't expect to be the 100% fuel provider for every
Right.
single truck out on the road. We don't. We just want to be an option, and we hope that we're the best option most of the time. But
Mm-hmm.
at the same time, I mean, even people that have other fuel card solutions out there, um, my team will say, you got to do what's best for your business.
Right.
We want to service you. We want to help you do what's best for your business. We hope we are what's best for your business. But at the end of the day, you know what's best for you, and you got to make those decisions. And we support you 100% on that.
Well, I can tell you more times than not, you are the best decision for my business, Jeff Reese, and your
Yep.
ES Advantage and Expeditors Services. And we dig you guys seriously. You guys have been I'm not a religious man, but I'm going to say the word godsend in what has happened with fuel prices and things like that because you guys have made this to where our fuel surcharge. I mean, you saw our fuel surcharge report earlier. We're getting 72 cents, I think it is this week, and that's huge. That's amazing for us. But then we put that on top of the savings with the ES Advantage card, and it's. I mean, we're getting paid to put fuel in our
Yeah.
trucks at this point.
Yeah. With
Literally.
the discounts we're getting from the card, most of us are profiting off of that fuel surcharge after we put fuel in. I mean, my average week, it's like $120 more fuel surcharge than what I spent on fuel.
That's
And
great.
so that's in addition to the $200 or $300 that some of us save using ES Advantage. So that's let's say 250, and you add on that extra 150 or 200. That's phenomenal every week. I know people who don't make that much money in a week, and it's whatever is whatever, but they don't even make that much money in a single week, and we're just saving that in fuel.
Yep.
That's great.
That is life changing for many people in this one truck environment in the world. So thank you, Jeff Reese and the team at Expeditors Services, ES Advantage, the whole program, the community, as you said. And man, thank you so much for what you guys have done and helped us do and get this out there. And I hope that we get another surge of people requesting the card and we just make EJ and all those guys batshit crazy. They're like, oh my God, I can't keep up. That's what I want to see. That's what I
Man, I'd
want to
love
hear.
to see that. I'd love to see that too. So it's our pleasure to serve you guys, and we appreciate what you all do. I know it's hard. I know it's hard what you guys do, and we do appreciate that.
Thank you so much, brother. And we'll set you free to go deal with your wife because she's gonna whoop that tail if you don't get home soon.
She's gonna come hunting for us.
Right?
I don't want that.
She's like, dang it, Jeff, Charlie, go.
Right? I know. We're gonna invite her on the show one time just for fun. She's gonna be like, "What the hell's wrong with you guys? I don't even understand what the hell. What are you even talking about? Get out of here!"
Oh gosh, actually, that would be hilarious.
Right?
We might have to
That-
do that.
that-
We'll have to do one from my house. We'll do
That's
that.
how we got Rosie in this.
Yeah.
Look at her. She's
Rosie
doing something
agrees.
right now. Got her in there. I'm gonna throw her out back in just because it's fun. I just love to click that button. It just makes her nuts. She's like, "You bastard." But whatever. Jeff Reese, thank you so much for being on the show. You guys, if you need anything, reach out to that email address. I'll put it up before the show's over again. Jeff Reese, thank you. Your team, EJ, everyone else, man, you guys are awesome. We do appreciate you guys.
Thank you guys. Thanks for having me.
Anytime, buddy.
All right, bye.
All right, everybody. That was Jeff Reese from ES Advantage, Expeditors Services. If you haven't utilized their services and we haven't talked enough about their fuel card, we'll try and get some. There's a lot of threads in the Contractors Corner Consulting Group Facebook page and group. We talk about it all over the place. Send us messages, ask questions. I mean, you can do a search in the group, and I'm willing to bet there's
We'll
stuff
even do math with you.
Yes, math. We love math. We're gonna make Rosie do all the math because that's even more fun. Wait. You know who's even better at math than Rosie? Matt Wright. Matt Wright. Everybody, call Matt Wright for your math problems, and that guy right there is going to give you the absolute wrong answer. I mean, he's gonna do his best for you. Look, he was doing math on a calculator one night. He's like, "Man, it's just not coming up right." I'm like, "Dude, let me punch it in my calculator." And I punched it in my calculator and it came up exactly what it's supposed to be. He's like, "No, but that's not what mine says." I'm like, "I don't even know how you broke your calculator." But he could not come up with the same numbers. And it was pretty comical. And he finally just said, "To hell with it. I'm done with this, whatever." And it was fun. If you guys have any other questions, throw them up. We'll get to those. We've been at this for a little over an hour. If you guys have anything specific you want to ask about, you can ask about the fuel card. You can ask about whatever. I would like to bring up something that happened this week in the group. And Jeff and I would both like to discuss this a little bit. And what it has to do with is if you post a comment or start a thread in the group, okay? And let's say it doesn't go the way that you want it to go. And we have a discussion. There's a debate that goes back and forth, you guys. Just because it's not going your way doesn't mean you should delete that post, because what happens a lot of times is the corrected information or maybe another way of doing things will come out in that post. And while maybe you feel like, oh, they're picking on me, or look, I've had posts where I put up stuff and I'm like, wow, I was totally wrong. And by the end of the thread, I'm like, God, I was completely wrong at the front of that. And I'm a little bit embarrassed sometimes. And that you want to just click delete and kill the thread. Do us all a favor. Don't do that. Don't kill the thread, because there's so much information and so much passion that goes into those things that we could, I mean, people could actually learn something, once we get past sometimes there's some angry statements and things like that, and we'll try and keep those in check. But don't delete the thread, you guys. Come on, seriously. We're all adults here. We all make mistakes. We have opinions, and sometimes they're just that. They're opinions. Maybe they're not correct and factual, and maybe sometimes we can get some factual and correct information out there. But if you delete the thread, it's gone, and it's gone forever, and we can't bring that back. And that just does disservice to you. It does disservice to us and everyone in the group. So, I mean, seriously, I understand the want or desire to not feel that maybe embarrassment or anger or whatever it is. Try not to delete those posts, you guys, because there was some really good information in a conversation about speed this week that got a little heated and a little, I don't know. Look, by the time I got to it, it was gone. I didn't get to read it. I got to see bits and pieces of it through another communication, and I was really bummed because some really good points were brought up, contractual points that were shown, and they were out there. They're like, hey, this is what the contract says, regardless of what you feel or think, this is what the contract says. And that would have been beneficial to other people who aren't aware of the contract. And something we're working on, and I'm going to put them on the spot, Jeff Morton here is going to start doing a segment where we're going to start going over the contract, you guys, so that we can break this down in little bits and pieces. And maybe, Jeff, you could give them an idea of what your thought is behind this. You're welcome.
Well, one of the biggest things is, so when Charlie and I and Matt and some other people that comment a lot, Alan, on are fielding these questions, a lot of times you'll see us say, well, what does the contract say?
And we're not being smartasses.
We're not trying to be mean or anything like that, but the answer to a lot of your questions are actually in the contract. One of the ones that Charlie and I are going to work on actually maybe doing this is, you can, even if you're leased through IEL, you can take your truck and go do something outside of Swift.
Yes.
That's in the ICOA, the Independent Contractors Operating
Agreement.
That is the blanket contract that all of us sign. Whatever your IEL contract is, yeah, that could be different week by week because they come up with different programs for lease options.
Right.
But us leasing our capacity back to Swift, we all have the same contract. So there's this interesting thing. We could do what's called a trip lease. It's in the contract. It lays out how you do it, who you need to call, all that stuff. So that's one of the things that Charlie and I are going to work on together is, how do you actually do that? Because that's one of the questions that comes up a lot. Hey, man, I feel like I'm just stuck at Swift. Well, no, you're not. You could do this, this, and this. And people will argue this point, even though it's in the contract.
There was a heated debate last week about this very, and the problem with that is one side was arguing about lease portability, and then the other side was arguing about trip leasing, and they're two different subjects, but they were arguing, no, you got to do it this way, you got to do it this way, and they didn't understand what they were. What
the interesting thing about that one, Charlie, is they were both right.
Right.
It's just it was two different parts of contracts.
Right.
It's just, Charlie and I both, like, the last truck I leased from IEL is the one that I'm in now. It's the 2016 Freightliner. Literally, so I got to the owner operator division at 8:00 in the morning, right when they hadn't even had their coffee yet, man. They're like, "What are you doing here?"
Right.
I'm here to sign my new lease. Hold on.
Yeah.
And I was literally, it used to be they had a room for you. I don't know if they still do, but a room where you could close the door and have it be all quiet. I didn't get the contract signed until like 4:00 in the afternoon. That's when I finished signing the contract. I mean, literally, they were like, we got families.
Well, why is that, Jeff? Why did it take you so long just to put your name
because
on a piece
of
of paper?
read the whole thing.
The hell you
and
say?
I had a little marker and everything, and I lined out the things that I had questions on, and I asked those questions and got clarification. I was successful in changing one thing in the contract, by the way, and that was the 35,000 mile B service requirement on a 2016 Freightliner with a DD15 engine on it.
Right.
When the owner's manual says 50,000. I thought that was BS. I did get them to change that. So that's the other thing, guys, when you're signing these contracts, everything is negotiable. The worst they could say is no.
Right.
So
ask the question.
Yeah. So that's how important the contract is to me. The current ICOA, again, that comes out every 2 years, guys. Look for those changes. Charlie and I did that special with Brett where we went over the bullet point changes in the new ICOA.
Right.
One of those changes actually that I find interesting, and Charlie could correct me because I'm probably wrong, and I can't remember when it changed exactly, but it used to be the speed policy, because that's what this other argument was really about. Used to be separate from the ICOA.
Right.
It used to be you had an addendum that you had to sign that said, this is the sort of speed policy. I agree to do this.
Right.
In this ICOA, it's actually in Schedule E on the ICOA. I can tell you right now because I looked it up. It's on page 27 if you open up the PDF in Word. It's on page 28 if you use Kindle, the Kindle app, or PDF Viewer.
Right.
It's right there. It lays out the speed policy, and we all signed that. So I thought that was kind of interesting that they felt the need to put that in the ICOA this time.
Right. And the cool thing about it is the wording of the speed policy, and it states 70 on pedal. Is that right, Jeff? honestly can't remember what it says. And 68 on cruise. If you have a smart drive camera, it lets you jump up to 72.
Yep.
There is no mention of the excessive speed policy anymore in that contract that I could find.
Hmm.
But that means that they're holding you to that speed,
72. Yeah. 68 or
period.
72.
So anything above that is in violation of your contract. So let's just be real and honest about that. I don't care if the state speed limit is 80 miles an hour. What are your tires speed rated at? Can you guys tell me that? I asked that question to a lot of people, and they're like, "What are you even talking about?" They don't know that their tires are rated to 75 or 80 miles per hour. So why would you want to exceed those speeds anyhow? Because now you're talking about safety issues and everything else. And Sue, we will get into
Dang
those
it, Sue.
other. I know
Doggone it, Sue.
we will get into those other contracts, but we want to get to the main ICOA first because that seems to cover a larger group of people, and then we'll break down those individuals. But we do need to reach out to Brett and his folks to make sure that they're not going to be a little weird about us breaking down the contract in public open forum type of deal. And so that's something that maybe we can talk to. Oh, by the way, Brett Stewart will be on the show next week. We're going to be talking about some trailer tech stuff and some other things coming up. And so maybe we can pose that question to him then and start working on that little series. We're going to try and work it into every, a little bit once a week, so that we digest this in small chunks and really just start breaking down the contract so that everyone understands what's going on. And later on we'll put it into a big viewable playlist that you can go through. Bam, 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 here's the whole contract broke down for you in little bites and bits. So
Yeah, and the
hopefully
nice thing
that'll
about it
be good.
too is that if you become intimately familiar with the 2022 ICOA, then in 2024, when the new one comes out, right,
Right.
all you're going to have to look at is what changed.
And it's a whole lot
And
easier to figure that out.
yep. So I one of the things I was going to say, I don't want to offend people south of the Mason-Dixon here because I know you all
Oh, here we
love,
go.
love stuff.
Just lost half our viewership.
I know. I just offended half our viewers. The contract, read it like the Bible, man. Seriously.
For real.
Treat it like it's a scripture,
It's your business
because
Bible.
it is. It's your business Bible. Charlie's famous for saying he's not that religious. I'm pretty religious. I read my Bible every day. Read your contract,
Often. Over
often.
and over. Go back. Look at it again. I'm telling you, because look,
Highlight stuff.
yeah, man, because look, we get these questions all the time. And oh, I got a cough. We get these questions all the time. And a lot of, like Jeff said, a lot of those answers can be found in the contract. And we've gotten so good at it. We're like, well, in section 3 of this addendum, there it is. There's your answer. It's not a matter of opinion. It is black and white. It is clear cut and dry.
Hmm.
And the interesting thing about our contract is that if it's not specifically addressed, okay, um, there is a
Applicable
clause.
law.
Yes, applicable law, that you must follow applicable law. That's where the carrying a firearm in your truck or something like that comes into play. You
Here we go.
you like that? I'm not going deep in this one, but you
3
need
weeks
to.
in a row.
I know, but you need to know what those laws are when you travel to and through different locations. And so that's why Swift doesn't say, "Hey, you can't have a firearm in your truck" as a contractor, because it's not something that they're really backing. They want you to follow applicable law. When it comes
Chains.
to speed, chains, I mean, all these other things, applicable law.
Hmm.
So that's kind of the catch-all. If it's not specifically lined out in the contract, what does applicable law say that for this circumstance? Whether it's contract law, whether it's business law, whether it's road law, what have you. What does the law say about this? And maybe you need to go out and do a little research, or maybe you pose that question in the group, and we all dive into it. We all go do our Google searches and whatever, and search law libraries to find out the information. But the fact remains, We need to know.
And that,
stuff.
Charlie, that has happened on our group before, where somebody has a question and it comes down to applicable law. And dude, we've got 5 guys out there, duck going,
man, just doing it.
Saying,
It's
"Hey,
great.
I found this. This is what it says here, and over here it says this." And you get,
and that'll turn into like 19 other discussions, because now what does that actually mean in real language? Because legalese versus English are like different worlds. So yeah.
I mean, I just told one of our members the other day, is like, look, man, if legalese isn't your thing, find someone that can explain things to you.
They have these guys, they're called lawyers.
And I actually mentioned Alan on this one, because Alan's like a contract. He's got a contract fetish, that guy.
Yeah,
so
I dig it.
He makes Charlie look like he doesn't know anything sometimes.
Right? I enjoy it, because Alan will deep dive in the contract. He's like, but it says it right here. And I'm like, oh, crap, I didn't even realize that one.
Yep. So,
hey, Sue Smith, if you're still there, I just want to ask you a question. Is there anything that you think we need to discuss on the show right now? Is there anything that we haven't touched on this week that you would like us to touch on, or maybe coming up soon, something like that? For those of you who don't know Sue Smith is one of our favorite OOCs out of the Ocala terminal. And, I've told her that I'd like to have her on the show in this little position down here, not necessarily under me. Look, let's pretend Sue is where Rosie is. Look, I'll put her right here, right at the top, Sue. You can be the one on the top. And wait, see, this is getting weird. And I didn't mean for it to get weird, but I'm just saying I'd like to have Sue on the show, because I think she's a knowledgeable person. And every driver that I've talked to that has her as a OOC, pretty much digs the hell out of her. And she is definitely opinionated, but you know what? Her opinion comes from a place of experience and professionalism. Seriously.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, Sue, if you're still listening, I need your actual work office phone number.
Yeah. Your work number, because all I had to give him was your cell number, but he needs to give it to someone else, and I wasn't comfortable giving your driving with Bob. You did it. Give us one
I thought
second,
we were
Bob.
gonna. I thought we were gonna get through the whole show.
We were so close.
But yeah, I've got one couple that she's getting off the truck for what reason I don't know, and he's gonna have to go out solo. And they've been on that team. They have an OOC that's just a team OOC, and they're shopping for a solo OOC. And I dropped your name, but I don't know how
was such a thing.
Tell them. I don't even know what to tell them as far as contacting you. They're brand new, so they're moldable.
If you could shoot me a message, or if you want to put it up in the chat, that's fine too. Your office number, not your cell number. Or if you want to just shoot me or Jeff a text, that would be awesome, and we will get them in contact with you. So because you're the person we are recommending like a hotcake right now, because we just love the way you work, lady. I'm just gonna throw it out there. I can't help it.
Alan's got it. Alan's got everything. That guy. I'm done, Charlie. It's gonna be the Charlie and Alan show now.
Right? You know what? Let's make it Rosie and Alan. That'll be fun. Rosie, Matt, and Alan. Let's see how they run the show for a week. That'll be awesome. Rosie gonna boss them around too. She'll be like, "Listen here."
So load board.
Yes.
Load board. We don't have much to tell you.
Yeah, we've got nothing to tell you about it, honestly, right now. Sorry, driving with Bob asked load board. So yeah, there is no information right now. We're hoping that we can maybe get a little information next week. And where we will have, like I said, Brett Stewart on the show next week. He has put me on the calendar so that he'll be here, and we can, attack him on that, because, he loves it when we bring that up.
Yep.
So yeah, check in next week with us Tuesday at 6 p.m. Just saying, Eastern time. And we will be here. It might be 6 p.m. in 14 seconds or 6:01. I don't want to hear it. Look, we do our best. All right. You guys need to stop it. Sometimes, Rosie breaks things and I have to go fix them at the last minute. And it's usually not Rosie. It's usually me. Anyhow.
It was the cat.
Holy crap. Look at that. That's a crazy number, Jeff. Getting 9.54 miles per gallon, driving at 55 with my X15, 911 miles, 87 gallons.
You know what's amazing is that when we first started, well, when I first started in 2006, um, people on the road dog trucking shows, if you told them that you were getting 7.5, they call you a liar, and they'd be right.
Right?
Now we're
And
up
now,
to trucks getting almost 10. I mean, it's amazing.
if I don't get at least 7.5, I get really upset. Like seriously, right now, it's bumming me out. And my last one, oh my God, Jeff, I didn't tell you, my last fuel up coming home was 6.74, I think. I honestly think I may have got a bad load of fuel. And we idled the hell out of the truck the other day because we sat the entire day. We got to the DC at like 4 or 5 a.m. and we're there until 4 a.m. again. And it was a brutal day. And it was just, oh my gosh. TK, I see you down there, brother. Uh, I was putting in load board testing. Trucker Dan, cool deal. There's not a whole lot on there right now. It's been better lately. When I start CW, when I started, I was happy to get 4.5 miles per gallon. Yeah, CW's been trucking
Yeah,
a
but
while. I
that
can tell
was
you
back.
that.
Yeah, but that wasn't that when diesel fuel was like 10 cents a gallon, though.
Oh, oh, I did not go there, sir. It was not me. It was that guy. That guy. Wait, that guy up there. See, I still can't do this pointing thing. It's weird. I'm in a weird position. I need you right there. Yeah, I don't even know how to act. Dang it! See, it's that. I'm gonna get it right later. Watch. Anyhow, yeah, less than a buck. Look at that. So, or greater than $1. I don't know which one that is. My brain's broken right now. Less than $1. I look. I stop it with the math symbols. I can't do it right now. Shots fired. Shots fired. That's what Alan Becker said. You guys, if you have any questions, throw them up. Otherwise, we're gonna wrap this thing up. We're to a point now where I've gotten stir crazy and I need a nap. I don't know. Have you guys seen these bags under my eyes? I want you
I need
to
to make
see this.
another 200 miles today. So
Look at this. Oh my God, it's
some
horrible.
of
Oh
us,
my God.
so Charlie and I get accused all the time of being just Swift corporates and not actually being owner operators. And
Right.
one of us actually does work.
You
So
know what?
you know,
Look, I pull freight. I deliver to 3 to 5 stores a day, and then I have to drive all the way back to Florida from, wherever the hell it is, Birmingham or who knows, Atlanta. And look, I just like to come home to do the show so nobody believes I'm in a truck. Those of you who met me out on the road, you can vouch for me. You know what an ugly, tore up truck I have. But you know that I'm running. You know I'm out doing something. I'm just saying. Anyhow, throw them up. And if not, we're going to wrap this thing up once again, like always. Rosie, is there anything you'd like to mention to the good folks who are out here watching us this evening?
holy cow, 500 rears. Did you see that, Charlie?
Yeah, that's
All
crazy,
good.
right?
Oh my
Rosie's
goodness.
done. Rosie has nothing for us this week. She's tired too. Jeff, anything you want to touch on before we bounce out of this?
No, if you guys, if you want to go on the group and for this contract minute, whatever we're going to do, if
Yeah.
there's specific questions you have about the contract, let us know.
Yeah.
We'll probably just start with, we'll probably start with like the speed policy or something like that, something that's actually discussed a lot, and then go from there.
My
But
vision of it is I'd like to actually be able to at one point cut it all together and have the entire contract laid out so we can break down every section through this that that there's little fine points here and there sometimes that a specific line that maybe doesn't quite mean what you think it means, so maybe we can touch on that kind of stuff so that eventually we have this entire contract lined out for you guys, for all of us to be able to, oh look, and somehow searchable. I think that would be amazing. We'll work on that. That's my vision. Whether or not that comes to fruition, you like that word? That's a good word. We'll see. It
that's a
is
drunk
something that
word.
we're trying to do, right? I know, right? But all right, guys. I think with that, I want to thank you all for tuning in like you do every week. Hey, like always, I meant to do this at the top of the show. If you haven't already done so, since we're here, you're watching, there's 14 of you here. I want to see 14 thumbs up unless you hate what we're doing. If you don't like what we're doing, and then I can just know that, because we don't have at least 14, because there's 14 of you right now actively watching, and it's pretty cool because the viewership is actually growing week to week now, and I'm pretty happy about that. But give us some thumbs up, guys. It helps us get out there a little bit further and reach more people in the algorithms of the YouTube world and all that nerdy stuff that none of you actually care about. It only matters to me. And yeah, I just want us to be able to reach more people and be able to help more folks and grow what we're trying to do. So, like TK said, slow down and your mileage gets better. We're going to end it on that note. TK, I love you, brother. Hope you're being safe out there. All the rest of you guys, be safe. Thank you so much. Look after each other. And we will see you next week, Tuesday, 6 p.m., right here on Contractors Corner.